I was tagged in this post, and this post is so succinct. Dr. Noor Salman, she puts out these talking points that I've talked about before, YV Edit have talked about before, the other content creators that are on the feminist spectrum have talked about, but she makes them quite succinct. So let's jump into this post. She says, I'm a psychologist. I've been training high performers for 20 years, and I'll tell you in 2 minutes. Here are 10 facts about how the patriarchy keeps itself alive by impregnating women, extracting domestic labor without benefits, and isolating them. Let's get into this. Number one, reproductive control is the tool of patriarchal power. By controlling access to contraception and reproductive freedom, patriarchy sustains dependence. This is the reason why Republicans, Christian conservatives, MAGA have all been chipping away at women's reproductive rights since the 70s and 80s. This is the reason why they want to roll back all of the gains from the feminist movement. Number two, unpaid domestic labor props up the global economy. Women's invisible work subsidizes male productivity and national GDPs. When I say things like make men hold their own nuts, or when I talk about how men are failing and flailing as women are pulling back their unpaid labor, this is precisely the reason why. This is the reason why if women were to stop going to church, the church would crumble as an organization because so many things run on the unpaid labor of women. Stop doing so much at work for free. Stop doing so much for men in general, the daddies, the boyfriends, the husbands. Make them do things by pulling back your unpaid labor. Number three, motherhood is mythologized to naturalize female servitude. The good mother ideal keeps women sacrificing without compensation, support, education, or healthcare. The way they make it like your duty and you're supposed to martyr yourself. And this is the only thing that really makes you a woman. They do that to build something up in you like, oh my God, I'm supposed to take this on. But when we start to unravel that, it's this reason. Keeping us in servitude is what they need to do. By making us be mothers, it does keep us in a natural servitude because we are at the service of those children and then the husbands or the boyfriends or whatever by proxy. Number four, isolation from community reinforces dependency. Limiting women's social networks makes them easier to control and less likely to resist. This is the reason why we talk about how men change after isolating you from your friends and how it is a manipulation tactic to make you push away from your friends or take you to a different state or that kind of thing because it makes you easier to control. Number five, economic structures reward male dominance. Wage gaps, asset control, and financial gatekeeping preserve patriarchal power because they know that without that control, women can walk away. If we have our own money, we can walk away from terrible relationships. We can walk away from terrible jobs if we have some money saved. We can walk away from things that are not serving us, and they don't want that. So that's the reason why they do things like, try to get rid of work from home and those kind of things. Try to get rid of Head Start programs, which helps mothers. It's all about financial destruction of women. Obviously, Dr. Salman is doing a great job with her own post and talking points. I'm just bringing in examples where you can grab it and grasp what she's saying. All right, it says, number six, legal systems historically codify male authority. Marriage, custody, and property laws have long privileged patriarchal ownership. You are literally owned by men. This is the reason why there was no such thing as marital rape. That's the reason why men were not going to jail for harming their wives physically because you can't abuse your own property. This is the reason why marriage definitely does benefit men the most, but the way they frame it and the way they have framed it over the decades is made like women be the ones that are just pining away for it, not the men. Number seven, media glorifies female sacrifice and male entitlement. Cultural narratives normalize the woman who has it all while he benefits invisibly. You can see this in those movies where a woman would be like a career woman, going for it all, but she's just waiting to be tamed by her husband. And once she has kids and motherhood is her ultimate goal, she's had it all before. She's been the businesswoman, she's climbed the ranks, but now she gets to be a mom and a wife, and she gets to take a step back. And like he definitely does benefit invisibly, but a lot of times visibly as well, because this allows the men to move up. She's pushing him in all of that. But y'all can weigh in on some examples of number 7. Maybe I'm not completely grasping this one. The trappings of the nuclear family have definitely been talked about before, but number 8 says the nuclear family structure isolates labor. It removes collective childcare and mutual support, trapping women in private struggle. And this is the reason why mommunes are coming back. This is the reason why it's like community is so important, because it gives women a chance to take a break, because otherwise we're doing so much. If you think about the day-to-day life of a mother, a working mother or a stay-at-home mother, it's a lot of work. So the nuclear family has definitely made it so everybody has to work all the time. Dad goes to work, he's away, so she doesn't even have that support system because he's gone making work or making money. But even if dad and mom were working, mother is still in the home doing the majority of the heavy lifting within the home. Number 9, patriarchy pathologizes female anger and autonomy. Women resisting domestic roles are labeled crazy, cold, or unfit. And I actually read this book by Phyllis Chesler, Women in Madness, and it talks about how women were deemed crazy, how women could be sent to the loony bin simply for having their own thoughts or not wanting to be married, not wanting to be a mother. Women were thought crazy, literally. And so they could be lobotomized or drugged or whatnot simply by not conforming to those traditional roles that the patriarchy put women in. Number 10, patriarchy survives by appearing normal. Its genius lies in convincing society that female suffering is love, duty, or biology. It took me 20 years to learn this. Patriarchy doesn't survive by force. It survives by belief. And the way they make it seem like masculinity and femininity is part of our biology, and these are just our masculine roles. These are our feminine roles. You were made to make sandwiches. You were made to change diapers. It's like, no, this is all like cultural. This is socialization. This is not normal, but we have made it normal because we have been put in these boxes for so long that it appears to be what the norm is. And as we are waking up to what these things are, and that it's just simply made to keep us constrained, keep us oppressed, that's what the patriarchy does. As we're waking up to that and making it tumble, and women are pulling back, then we're going to show that we can create our own norms and traditions and our own belief systems. But like I said, she made this list. These talking points were amazing, and I'm glad that she put this out there and it's so succinct. Reedson says, this belief system never sat well with me. Throw off the chains. Just stop buying into the fantasy that this is how it's meant to be, because it literally does keep women in chains. It keeps us second-class citizens. We are not supposed to own our own bodies. This is the reason why they can't stand feminists so much, because we think that women should belong to ourselves and not belong to somebody else. And for that throws off their norm. That takes us out of the box that they can control, and they don't like that. And Dr. Salmon says, pretty please preach. But she preached the sermon here on today. She preached it today. Go ahead and follow this lady if you are not yet following her over on Threads. And this is tangential. I just thought that this was funny. So Dr. Hawley says, annual shout out to my mom, who says she wanted a small filing cabinet for Mother's Day when working on her dissertation. My dad got her a microwave. For 2 weeks, she left several manila folders in it and wouldn't let anyone use it until my dad procured a filing cabinet. So I just thought that that was funny. It just goes to show that sometimes men think that they know better than the woman knows when it comes to what gifts to give. And to that, Von Tyndall put in quotes, women are terrible communicators. fails to follow basic directions and a specific request. If she eventually gets tired of him, I'm sure he will say he is completely blindsided by the divorce papers, while anyone who knows them has a plethora of examples just like this, where he had every opportunity to celebrate his wife and made a different choice. If my husband bought me something so critical to an important accomplishment in my life, I would hold it dear for forever. So this post will definitely make it into its own post because I'm going to talk about some of the comments on it. I just wanted it to end this one here. Join the conversation. Let me know what you thought about Dr. Salmon's talking points as far as the patriarchy and what upholds it, and if you have seen any of those examples in your day-to-day life. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.